Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, Phil'sGang.com's Phil Grande has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. Phil'sGang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get in the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000 for the color-coded technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Phil Grande is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grande has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grande and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. We're a teaching format. And boy, do we give good service. You know, buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Our economy is so much stronger.
What I see is a pretty robust economy.
The economy is clearly getting better here. Right across the board, generally, we're hearing better numbers.
Really? They're all hearing better numbers. What are you, nuts? Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. It is amazing as this election goes on, the cheerleaders for Hillary will say anything. It's amazing. It's not the truth at all. She comes out and talks about auto sales, right? Really? Well, guess what? We just got the numbers today. Auto sales are contracting. Auto sales are tanking. Walmart, they just cut 7,000 jobs in the back office. So how could things be good? I've been talking about the last month how manufacturing is terrible. Terrible. They're cutting jobs. We have orders are at a 10-year low. Today, they come out again with new numbers for August. The orders have fallen off a cliff again. Productivity has dropped to the lowest since 1993. So you got manufacturing collapsing. You got the economy, remember, is collapsing because we keep increasing our national debt by $27,000 per second. Productivity is collapsing. We haven't seen this low productivity since 1993. Jobs are collapsing. Auto sales are collapsing. And more lies. We even get more lies. Listen to this guy, Zeke Emanuel. You know the brother Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel, the liar. Listen, he comes out and tells us how Obamacare is doing okay. No, it's not. It's a disaster. But listen to this.
The first point is we have insured 20 million people. So whatever your version of failure is, that's a big improvement. And we now have less than 30 million Americans without insurance. That's a substantial improvement.
Total lie. That 20 million, the majority of the 20 million never enrolled in Obamacare. They enrolled in Medicare, but they take the count as Obamacare. Two separate things. They did not enroll 20 million people. They enrolled 8 million. That's it, not 20 million. He's lying. Also, he didn't mention the 5 million people like myself who lost our insurance. Remember when it first came out, we all lost insurance, a lot of us, 5 million, I was one of them. Yet a lot of people still haven't gotten a policy. And know what else he didn't mention? How about the 11 million people who rather pay a penalty than get into Obamacare? It's a total failure. He's a liar. Well, look at his brother.
In many of the states you identify where we don't have enough insurers, that is a long-standing problem of rural areas, and I totally agree we need to address it. It is not escaping, but it's not a problem that the Affordable Care Act created.
Of course it's a problem that they created. It's not a rural problem. Do you think Florida, where I am right here, Sarasota, Tampa, Bradenton, that's rural? Are you nuts? That's not rural. Matter of fact, Florida has the worst problem of all the states. Because the big insurers, healthcare insurers, are all pulling out. They're all pulling out. And Florida is one of the worst problems. Rural? Tampa, Florida, where I am, is rural? What are you, nuts? Here's why they're pulling out. And here's what he didn't tell you. The reason they're pulling out is because, remember, Obama made the deal with the insurers, the big insurers, when he was running for office. He said, look, I need Obamacare to get elected the first time. I need Obamacare to get reelected. So here's what I want to do. If the premium, you got to charge for a premium $500, and what we'll do is sell it to the people at the exchange for $100. I will make up the difference from a slush fund. I'll make up the difference. I'll take the money from Social Security. Nobody will know the difference. That's what he was doing for 8 years, especially when every time he got near election, when he had to get reelected. So he was taking the money from Social Security. The minute it hit, it went to the insurers. It was a game they're playing. Now he's getting out of office. Now we find out there's a major problem. Major problem. Insurers are leaving everywhere because there's nobody there to reimburse them. It was phony. The whole thing was phony just to get him elected. It's just unbelievable. We can't hit Social Security anymore. I mean, the line just goes on. And think about the deductibles. Never mind the price of the premium. The deductibles are brutal. $5,000, $6,000, $3,000. It is just brutal. The only place, and these insurance companies like United Health, you think they're just going to be good guys and lose money? Here's the problem with Obamacare. Obamacare, the business model was to take all the sick, the older, the sick, those with pre-existing problems, take them all. Every insurance company in the world, their model is totally different. Their model is they run away from the sick. They want the young. They want the healthy. Only Obamacare. And from the beginning, everybody was pointing that out, but nobody would listen. Everybody was screaming and saying, don't you guys get it? How are they going to make money when they're targeting the sick and the elderly? When every health insurance company in the world, their model is stay away from the sick, stay away from the elderly. Now you know how he did it. He subsidized the insurance companies from Social Security. And you want to know why Social Security has no money in it? That's why there's no money in Social Security. And that's why one day they're going to take your 401k. Yeah, you don't think so? They're going to take your 401k one day. They're going to tell you, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take all the money in your 401k and we're going to exchange. We're going to take all your money. You're not going to have a choice. We're just going to take it with his pen. If Obama would be Hillary if she's in office. With her pen in her phone, they're going to say, okay, I just created some legislation where we're going to take your 401k that has $100,000 in it. That's mine now. But in return, we're going to give you a bond. Okay, we'll give you a 10-year treasury or something. I mean, it's going to happen. These people are sick. You know, and what gets me is there's time for change. We can make change. We need change. It's not happening. It's not happening. Trump is still behind. I know he's doing better, but he's still behind. And who's making all the money? Who is making all the money? The 1 percentile. Why? Because they have all the influence on all the policies. And what does that do? It causes massive income inequality. Well, guess what? They don't have any influence over their home prices crashing Told you about that earlier this week. Aspen, Hamptons, Long Island, their houses are collapsing. Prices are down by 42%. Yeah, they don't have control over that. And nobody's picking up on that. Why do you think the very high end is collapsing? Why? And remember, housing is the number one retirement asset for Americans. I mean, not for the 1 percentile. They don't care about their house. All their money is in the stock market. They control 85% of the market. That's right. 5% of the population in the United States control 85% of the stock market. We'll talk about that when we get back. And some stocks. It's 15 past the hour here on Phil's Gang. Join my gang. 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, most people get involved with a 401k because of the employer match. They really believe that there's free money. There's no free money. It's a scam. Here's how it works. You ever notice that you can't get the money all at once? Why not? Why don't they just give you the match all at once? Why over 6 years? Because they know only 12% of the people who work for a company stay for 6 years or more. Only 12% are there for 6 years. That's why they plugged it to 6 years. They know you're not going to stay. So it's not for your benefit. It's for the benefit of the company. It's a scam. There's an alternative, though. Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? You know, reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you'll be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere, no matter where I go, I'm not going to get into the stock market because it's rigged. And I think, what are you, nuts? That's exactly why I want to get into the market. Here, listen to this.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
But we front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally. So are you telling me you don't want to get into a market where they front-loaded an enormous rally, where they fixed it to go up? You don't want to get in? What are you, nuts? Of course you want to get in. See, your fear is, once you get in, you're fearful you're not going to get out in time. Well, that fear is gone. That's why I designed the Max Investor 1000, the color code technology. It'll get you out before it crashes. Believe me. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee, they take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
In fact, health insurance premiums have not come down, but have not increased at the same rate they did between 2000 and 2010. The American public are actually saving a substantial amount of money compared to where we expected.
Unbelievable. Welcome back to Phil's Gang. Zeke Emanuel, the architect of Obamacare, lying through his teeth as Obamacare is falling apart. Listen to what he's saying. And look how he makes a mistake. He makes a mistake coming out of the gate.
In fact, health insurance premiums have not come down, but have not increased at the...
He's so used to lying. He's got to stay down. He had to change it. Look, premiums are up. Everybody knows that. All the insurance companies came out for 2017. They put out their projections. They're going to be as much as 23 to 42% increase. Now let's talk about the healthcare spending on healthcare. He's saying, we cut back spending on health. No, you didn't. In fact, if you look at healthcare spending at the time they passed this stupid bill, Obamacare, spending was going up like a snail, ever so slightly, like 3.9%. And now it's skyrocketing. He's a liar. These people will just lie to you. Let's go where there's no lying, the Stock Corner. Make some money.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang Max Investor 1000 Stock Charts.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay. It is incredible, the lying, isn't it? Well, that's one nice thing about using charts. You don't have to listen to all the noise. You really don't. Listen to this nonsense here.
Charter Communications. Why do you like Charter?
Charter has bought Time Warner Cable. Time Warner was an undermanaged company. Free cash flow of 7%, 7.5% next year, sells for an EV to EBITDA of 8.5 times this year, 7.5 next year. They've also been buying back stock, 40% of their total cap they will have bought back by the end of next year.
Who cares about all that? About their EBITDA? Who cares about their EBITDA? EBITDA. Sounds like a medicine. Got to take your EBITDA before you go to bed tonight. Jeez, who cares? It's real simple. You just put up the chart. You don't have to know any of that stuff, and that's what's beautiful. You don't have to hire some genius or you think is a genius. You can do it by yourself. Put it up on the chart. Now, why would anybody buy this? It just turned red. Money's coming out. And it's amazing. When you look at the stock, there's more red than green. Are you kidding? Look at this thing. It just turned red today. So she's giving you what they call fundamentals. This is just fundamental garbage.
Charter Communications. Why do you like Charter?
Charter has bought Time Warner Cable.
Yeah.
Time Warner was an undermanaged company.
Undermanaged.
Free cash flow of 7%, 7.5% next year. Sells for an EV to EBITDA of 8.5 times this year.
Yeah, EBITDA 8.5 times, free cash flow. They try to impress you with this garbage. All you want to know is money coming in this thing or not? And right now, it's not. Here's another genius right here.
I'm going to go with Whole Foods. Saw some call buying in there today. I think it's finally bottomed. Maybe we see a rise from here to November. How does he know that there's going to be a rise from here to November? I don't know what I'm going to have for supper tonight. How does he know that? How does he know that? So somebody's going to jump in this thing today. Now, it turned green. You can buy it. It's okay. But it's what we call risk on. That's what you'll learn when you get this chart. When it turns green, you need another confirmation. You get a double confirmation. It checks it to make sure enough money's coming in. So you look below. So what you do is you see it turn from right here. It turned from red to green. And then I got to go down and check and see if I got what we call a crossover. It's real simple. There's two lines. There's a red line and a yellow line. And if that red line crosses the yellow, okay, and then it goes up to what we call the 32% mark, then that tells you risk is off. So you just make sure it turns green, and then you look below, make sure that signals at 32%. If it's green and it's below it, it's telling you to hold back. It's giving you an indicator that money is starting to come in, but it's not coming in fast enough. See, isn't that a beautiful thing? It even tells you if the money is not coming in fast enough. I mean, that's the beautiful thing. Even when it turns green, you gotta back up, so you don't make a mistake. I don't know what better you can do than listen to this nonsense. This is just plain nonsense. Here, take a look at silver, SLW. Okay, I'm going to put up SLW on my MV2, all right? Now, that's silver, SLW. It's a nice little silver company, SLW. All right, so SLW. So if you take a look at SLW on the chart, okay, this thing, SLW was here. Let's take from where it was red. And let's go back to where it was red in June, around June 27th, and it was around $21. And then it turned red. It turned red on July 21st, and that was right around $25. So that's a 19% return. That's a 19% return. So it went from red to green, and then back to red. That's a 19% return. Now, you may not even get all of it. You may not get all of it. Maybe just get half of it. You get in late. That's okay. But the beautiful thing is, on the way up, you can relax. You don't have to go to bed at night worrying, is this thing going to crash on me? Because it tells you in advance. Because it's identifying the money going in and money going out. And right now, it's red. Right now, it's red. You wouldn't want to be in it now. That's the beautiful thing. So here's what you do. You get it free. With a sign up, you go get signed up for the gang. It's only $39.95, and you get for 4 weeks free the MV2. Do it now. 877-600 gang. Get your MV2 free right now.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Phil Grande is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with the prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grande has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, Then turn to Phil Grande and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com. Phil Grande is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grande has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grande and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. It's always about fees. That's right. It's always about fees. When you're investing in anything, it's about fees, but especially 401ks. Let me explain to you how you get screwed with a 401k. Nobody will tell you this. You'll be told with a $25,000 investment, your 401k will return 7%, and over 30 years, you'll retire with a nest egg of $226,000 with a fee of 0.5%. That is a lie. Do you know if you just bump it from 0.5% to 1.5%, that $226,000 drops to $160 with 2% fee? It drops to $123. But you know what most fees are? 3%. So you're going to drop almost below $100,000. Join my gang, philsgang.com, and get rid of that 401k. It is not for your benefit.
Isn't it time you reduce your fear of investing? Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, people make it too complicated. Wall Street tells you the market cap and the trailing PE and the forward PE and price to sales to confuse you. All you need to know is, does the stock have volume? What's that mean? Energy. What does that mean? If you have people buying a stock, enough of the stock's being bought, it influences the prices to go up. Join my gang, philsgang.com. We're using charting, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? You know, reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, it's interesting. If you take a stock, let's take, if you listen to these people, they'll drive you nuts, especially the politicians. Now, listen to what Obama says about the auto industry.
The auto industry is back, confidence is up, and the economy is getting stronger.
Really? But listen to this.
Ford coming in with the August auto sales, a decline of 8.4%. That's a little bit better than the estimate from Edmunds.com, which was forecasting a decline of 9.8%.
They're coming down. Now listen to Hillary.
And an auto industry that just had its best year ever.
Had its best year ever. But what happened?
Like Ford, we see a miss in terms of auto sales. U.S. auto sales falling at 5.2%. The estimates for 4.9%.
Guess what? The auto industry is getting hit. Why? Because all the people that they've been selling to, they're down at the bottom of the barrel. They'll give anybody a car. For 8 years. For 8 years. But now they're at a point. They went through the barrel. They went through the barrel. And here's their big problem. Wait till all these cars start coming back. They keep saying auto sales. They're not auto sales. Most of them are leases. Most of them are leases. And wait till they get filled up chock full of cars in their parking lot when they turn them back in. Are you kidding? Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a crash like we had the crash with the house. I'm not saying that at all. But it's going to hurt. All these cars, they financed, they leased them, and they did this to dupe us, to make us think that the economy was doing better than what it was. They did this, the auto industries, they propped them up. The unions, they had to get the unions to vote for them, so they propped the unions up, propped Ford up, propped GM up, all to get the unions on their side. And now it's coming home to roost. You know, it's interesting. Housing. We just talked about this earlier in the show. The 1 percentile. Their homes now in the Aspen and the Hamptons and Long Island, and they're all the high-priced multi-million-dollar houses in these resort areas are crashing down 42%. And remember about housing. It's the number one retirement asset for America. And who screwed that up? Bush. That's where people look forward to the retirement. Housing accounts for 50% of a person's wealth. And you used to do everything you could to get that house mortgage paid off. You used to focus on that. I remember my mother and my father, they wouldn't go on vacation. They wouldn't go out and buy new clothes. Their whole deal was to get rid of that mortgage. I'll never forget the night that they paid off that mortgage, the last day. And in those days, you burnt your trash in a big round barrel, okay, in the neighborhood. And they called me and my brother out, and they were so happy. So we were just kids, so happy. I didn't know what it meant, but they're so happy. They paid their mortgage off. They never took a vacation. They paid their mortgage off because that was their retirement. But guess what Bush did? He duped everybody. After 9/11, the economy had collapsed. Baby Bush knew. He knew what grows an economy, where economic growth comes from. He knows economic growth, the GDP, comes from savings, comes from capital investment, where CEOs plow all their profits back into the company, buying new equipment and IT spending and tools and machinery. That's how you grow the economy. That's where your growth in the economy comes from. CEOs taking and plowing profits back in. But they didn't do that. So unfortunately, after 9/11, when the economy collapsed, Baby Bush, instead of working with the corporations, giving them incentives for capital investment, big tax cuts. No, he didn't do that. Instead, he duped the American people into a fake wealth effect. He wanted them to think they were wealthier than they really were, and told them to go spend. It's the American way. Matter of fact, I have a cut here somewhere. I'll get it up. And it's where he goes, it's the American way. It's the American way. Go shopping.
And I encourage you all to go shopping more.
He should have been impeached. So what did he do? He tells you, go shopping after 9/11. And then he turns around and tells Greenspasm, drop interest rates, create low standards for credit, so to encourage American homeowners to extract equity from their homes. And boy, did they. Between 2001 and 2006, they extracted, it went from $6.25 billion, where it was in 2001. They went and refinanced their homes, and by 2006, they owed $1.4 trillion. Their equity and their homes were gone. What good is it? If that equity, they're taking the equity out to start a small business or do investment, that's fine. But to do it for consumption, that was reckless on Bush's part. Reckless. because you don't create any economic value with consumption. So as a result of the $1.4 billion in refinancing, it created major debt. Sure, you have economic growth for a while, but it creates debt. When you pay, it doesn't last because you got to pay the debt back. It's not sustainable. The total refi housing consumption, the GDP, economic growth, the GDP grew by 2% or $2.3 trillion. So they pulled out, think about it, $1.4 trillion, and so they got this spurt in economic growth. The GDP grew by 2% or $2.3 trillion. And during that 2006 period, think of, if you want to think of it in dollars, think of it in dollar amount of GDP. It grew from 10.1 to $12.4 trillion. So the GDP grew 2%. That was $2.3 trillion. And if you think of the GDP in dollar amount, it grew from 10 to 12. So everybody, oh, wow, this is good. Look at the economy. But it was fake. You got to pay it back. And that's what happened in the market crash. So home mortgages relative to the GDP went from 43% to 73%. Bush duped. He lied. He duped the American people, creating this housing boom. He caused 35% of homeowners who didn't have a mortgage, they had their house free and clear. He had them go out and borrow money, go into debt to go and buy stuff. How stupid a man he was. And the consequences were so severe that under Bush, when the bubble popped, household net worth dropped by 47.1% or 16 trillion. 16 trillion. So it went up 2 trillion, and when it popped, they gave that back plus another 14 trillion. So what good was it? 9 million jobs were lost immediately from 2008 to 2009 in 1 year. Our productivity dropped by 30%. Now remember, our productivity is our standard of living. That's why our standard of living dropped. Over 9 million homes were foreclosed on. Lost 6 trillion in equity. Another 8 trillion stock equity. And 12 million homes were underwater. Today, there's still 6 million in 2016 underwater. So what good was to go out and take 1.4 trillion out? People with all their homes, their equity is gone now. They can't retire. Their houses, they owe more than they're worth. And just to pop the GDP up $2.3 trillion or 2% GDP off fake, gave it back. How stupid a man. Didn't he think that was all debt? It's got to be paid back. He didn't care because it's short term. He wanted to get reelected like the rest of them. It's just unbelievable. Just like Bernanke with his income inequality. Remember when the Congress asked him, hey, who did better, Main Street or Wall Street?
I just want to emphasize that we're very focused on Main Street. We're trying to create jobs. We're trying to make housing affordable. Our low interest rates have created a lot of ability to buy automobiles.
Is it fair to say, though, that Wall Street has benefited more than Main Street has?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, Main Street didn't benefit more. Are you kidding? They didn't benefit. Wall Street didn't benefit more than Main Street? Of course it did. Of course it did. This is just insane to say something like that. He lied. And look at the income inequality that this created when they came in with this QE to try to fix it. The income inequality in this nation is incredible. And I heard Hillary saying last night about income inequality, oh, I'm going to fix that, when she and her boys created it. We'll be right back. And some more stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You hear me talk about 401ks every day on my radio show. Why? Because it's such a disservice. 89 million Americans have a 401k. There's 638,000 plans. And the father of the 401k, Ted Brenner, even admitted they're a scam. He doesn't endorse them anymore because of the ridiculous fees. You got to get away from those fees. Remember, every 1% fee They take 30% of your retirement money. The average fund is 2.5%. 60% of the money is going to be gone when you're ready to retire. You don't need to do that. There's an alternative. Join my gang, philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Seek out the alternative. Give yourself a break. philsgang.com. Sign up today.
Find out more at philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
My name is Bill Kaufman, and I have been a gang member for 14 years. I am very excited and impressed with the new MV1 and MV2 software chart. I love the easy readability. Bill has added pre- and post-market candlesticks and the ability to create stock lists. The charts can now be viewed on your smartphone or tablet. I would recommend the Max Vector 1000 chart to any type of investor.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grande has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com. As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Phil Grande is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with the prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grande has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grande and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com. Welcome back. Looking for insights and investing information? Join Phil Grande and become a Phil's Gang member today. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, I'm going to give you the number one more time, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG. So for you folks who are very busy, don't have time to invest, it's too complicated, you just get frustrated with it, this is an easy way to invest where you control. Just join my gang, Phil's Gang, for $39.95. For 4 weeks, I'll give you the MV2 chart free. At the end of 4 weeks, if you don't want it, then that's the end of it. That's it. If you don't want to stay with the gang, then don't stay with the gang either. It's a great offer. And here's how exact it is, this chart. If you look back on, it was in August 1st. It turned green. Turned green on August 2nd. Gold. So you got in, came down a little bit, stayed green, went back up a little bit. And then on August 15th, after it turned green on August 3rd, on August 15th, it turned red at 31.30. So you knew to get out right away. You knew to get out. Your loss was minimal. Nothing. But you really didn't lose, because what you then do when it turned red, once everything's confirmed, you sell it short. So you would have sold the short. Let's wait till it's confirmed. Let us stay in for 2 days, and then the third day, we always teach people to do it the third day at 30.65, and it's trading right now at 26.29. So that's a 14% return. So you got in, and you thought, okay, it's green, and get in August 2nd. Started to drop a little. Then by August 15th, it turned red. Okay, so you switched and said, I'm going to sell it short. I'm going to do just the opposite. That's the beautiful thing with the product. When it turns red, you just don't go home. Don't get out. You just hit the button that says sell short. Look, try it. And then all I ask you to do is to help St. Jude. Once you get it, and once it's working for you, you'll love it. Do it with the kids. Do it with the family. Have your kids say, look, give them 3 stocks. I want you to watch Johnson & Johnson for me. I want you to watch McDonald's and Starbucks. Tell me when they turn green and red. Tell your kids. That's as easy as it is. The problem is so easy, people don't believe it. So that's why I'm giving it to you for nothing for 4 weeks. Jeez, it works. It's frustrating because I could raise gazillions of dollars for St. Jude with this thing if it was on TV every day so people could see it. But it works. It works. For people who just hate the market, frustrated, so busy, what a perfect tool. All right, so call now, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, before we pull the program, okay? But it's free right now. All right. You know, it's interesting. I'm listening to, Trump went down to Mexico. I think that was terrific. Now you got the liberals like Joe Scarborough trying to pick it apart. And they're saying, first they ask him they say, I wish he was more presidential. Then when he starts acting presidential, they tear him apart.
How do you have one issue that is your key issue, which is building the wall? Which is so the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So much so that is the punchline in your rally, right? Mm-hmm. And then you go to Mexico and you claim you don't even bring it up to the Mexican president. How does one do that?
That's a lie. He didn't say he didn't bring it up. That's Joe's lying again like he always does.
We did discuss the wall. We didn't discuss payment of the wall. That'll be for a later date.
All right. So what did Trump say? So they're saying that he didn't do a good job. Wait a minute. First of all, when Trump got started, Trump is a businessman. He's not a politician. And when you're in business, you got to cut deals. Joe Scarborough doesn't know anything about deals. He's a failure. He failed in the Senate. He knew he couldn't get reelected. MSNBC at the time were starving. They're trying to get Phil McEnroe's place, the tennis player. He had a terrible show. John McEnroe. Nobody wanted to take the place. The producer knew him. They were friends. And he asked him to do it for a favor. But I don't care how he got on there. My point is, when you are a businessman, you don't change your mind. He didn't change his mind. He's not a politician. He didn't change his mind. A businessman changes their direction. He should have said, look, I know I said I was going to do this and I was going to do that. But I'm not a politician. I've been doing this for a year. Now, after a year, I learned. I got more input, like a business deal. Businessmen never change their mind. They change their direction. If they're going to buy a building and they change the price, does that mean they changed their mind? No. They still bought the building. They got it cheaper. Or maybe they paid more for it. You change your direction. Joe Scarborough's so stupid, he doesn't get that. Now, I mean, it's amazing because these politicians are in a different world. Isn't it easy for Trump just to come out and say, well, I made a mistake. You could say that. I made a mistake. I learned more now. People would say, okay, they get that. So here's what his kid said. Eric Trump.
anyone who knows anything about a deal or negotiation, you build a relationship first. You don't go with the hardest line aspect of a thing on day one. We've been very clear. We've never backed away from that. There's methodologies by which we can do it, but you don't start a negotiation when you're building a relationship with someone. You build a relationship first. Now, if Hillary Clinton, if Tim Kaine had ever done a deal, or maybe a good deal in their lives, if they'd ever done anything in business, if they'd ever experienced the real world instead of just being politicians talking in theory without any actual practice, maybe he'd know that. But because they don't, because they've never built anything, because they've never actually created a job, they sit there in sound bites.
Yeah, and he's right. He's just what I said. See, there's a difference between a politician and a rainmaker. A rainmaker sometimes will change his direction 2 or 3 times till he gets it right. Making a deal is like a chef. All of a sudden you put too much salt in it. I'm going to try it this way. I'm going to put less salt in. It's the same thing. But politicians, they're myopic. They know, okay, I'm going to say this. This is the lie I'm going to stick with. And I'm going to stay with this lie. That's how politicians are. I'm going to stick with this lie. I'm going to stick with that lie. Like lawyers. They're trained to lie, right? Same thing. Right? They're trained to lie. They stick with the lie. Well, it just drives me nuts. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it just drives me nuts. It just like here, like Joe, remember this?
I am not going to have my name tied historically to a guy that's talking about Mexican judges. He's talking about conspiracy theories with Vince Foster. He's talking about conspiracy theories with the President of the United States being in cahoots with ISIS, and who is going on and on and on about a Muslim ban that is as anti-American as any proposal I've heard.
He never said a Muslim ban. Here's what he said.
I would set up it's a temporary ban.
Temporary ban. You know, and Joe, he goes on like he's a Republican. He's not a Republican. He's a communist, for God's sakes. But you know, it's so sad because we're at a point. There's so much income inequality in this country. And who created the income inequality? The elitists, the big banking and political families, because they have the most influence over Congress. They own Congress. They own Congress. And they set the tone. They set the rules. When I hear Hillary talk about income inequality the other night and how she was going to do something about it, are you kidding? All lip service. Last fall she paid $400,000. Last fall she was paid $400,000 to make 2 speeches at Goldman Sachs, where she told them that she felt bad that they're demonized, that it wasn't their fault. The financial crisis, it wasn't caused by them. They paid her $400,000, and she came back and said, "Oh no, you shouldn't be demonized." I mean, this is unbelievable. That's income inequality. How should she get $400,000 something that's stupid? Well, we know that's not what it is. And under Bush, then Obama, the average income of the bottom 99%, think of it, the average income of the bottom 99% of the U.S. taxpayers rose by 18.9%. The average income of the top 1% rose 10 times that. 10 times that. The income inequality in this country has to be fixed. Now, do you think Hillary's going to fix it? No. You think Trump will? Sure, he will. Why wouldn't he? He's not going to live any less. Are you kidding? Hey, sign up right now, 877-600-GANG. Get your free MV4, the color-coded chart. It works. You'll love it. Believe me.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make my dreams.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody says, I hear it everywhere. Number